I'm going to now, this is about connecting hardware and external devices to your Mac. And that's going to be fun. Now, show you a couple of things here, and then I'm going to show you a little movie. In fact, let me show you that first. I'm doing reverse order than what I did for the Windows class last week. All right. Okay. A little warm. All right, go to history. Because there are less options on the Mac, less different kinds of plugs to plug into on modern Macs than there are on Windows. But some of the basics still do apply. Okay, let's see all. And there we are. And we're going to start with, no, let's try, that's the Android plan. That's the iPhone we did last week. Okay, inside a computer basics, setting up a computer. I'm going to show you this little film here. It's going to talk about different ports that you may or may not have in your Mac, depending on how old your Mac is. Alrighty, some of you have older ones. So I'm going to show you just this basic.
Are you having trouble?
Let's go ahead. And again, it may or may not apply to you because they're trying to do all, they do mention Macs in here as well as PCs. All right, there we go. Okay. So that's why the sound didn't work this morning. It was on the other computer. All right, we're going to share screen, share sound, and go.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? Don't worry. Take a deep breath. We're going to show you step by step.
All right, I got to have it so that I can hear it as well. So I'm going to have to use a microphone rather than the input from the. It's too bad. It's so much nicer that way. Stop share. And start again. All right. And here we go. Oh, no. Okay.
Are you having trouble putting your computer together? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Don't worry. Take a deep breath. We're going to show you, step by step, how to set up a desktop computer. First, unpack everything from the box and remove any plastic covering or protective tape. Think about where you want your workspace to go and how you want to arrange the different components before you start plugging things in. Next, let's connect the monitor. If you have an all-in-one computer where everything is built in, for example, an iMac, you can skip this step. Otherwise, locate your monitor cable. Newer monitors often use HDMI or USB-C connections, while older monitors may use VGA, DVI, or another type of connection. It just depends. Now find the monitor port on the back of your computer case and plug the cable in. Most cables are designed to fit a certain way, so if it's not working, don't force it. When you're done, connect the other end to your monitor. Now it's time to plug in your keyboard and mouse. If they're wired, they most likely have a USB connector, so you can use any of the ports you see here. You could also plug your mouse into the USB port on your keyboard if it has one. If you have a wireless mouse or keyboard, it's going to work a little differently. Some wireless devices connect using technology that's built into your computer, while others need an adapter. You'll also need to pair the device with your computer before you can use it. You may want to read the instructions that came with your wireless device to learn more about pairing. At this point, you can plug in your speakers or headphones. If it uses a typical audio plug, look for the green audio port on the front or back of your computer case. However, some speakers, headphones, and microphones use USB connectors. Finally, it's time to connect the power supply cables and plug the computer in. You should have two cables. One goes with your monitor, and the other plugs into the back of your computer case. Now plug both cables into a power outlet. We recommend using a surge protector to keep your equipment safe in the event of a power surge. When you're ready, plug the surge protector into a regular outlet. If it has a power switch, you may need to switch it on. That's all there is to it. Now take a minute to make sure you're happy with your workspace. Then turn your computer on.
GCF Global.
Okay, that was strange. Oh, my picture's gone. My picture's gone. There we go. Okay. All right, so now, why did I say that was strange? I'm going to back up here. And they said, okay, now that everything is ready, turn it on. Well, what's wrong with this picture? There's no power cord in the computer. There's no power cord in the monitor. There's no cable, the speakers to the computer. So he's going to press the power button and nothing is going to happen. So anyway, now, some of you have laptops, MacBooks. Some of you have desktops. And right, if you have an all-in-one, like an iMac, you don't need two power cords. One power cord goes into the back of the computer, and that's it. Of course, on the laptop, MacBook, one power cord there, plugs in. On the iMacs and the MacBooks do not have separate speakers, so they have built-in speakers. The speakers in the iMac are pretty good, at least of recent last few years vintage. They're decent. You know, they got better. And the last one that came out, or the last Intel one last year, had very good speakers. This new iMac is little skinny one. You know, it's okay. They're decent speakers. But you don't have to worry about that. Now, I do have to mention, they mentioned USB. Okay. This is the traditional USB, right? You all recognize that rectangle with the two big holes on top. You all know that is, okay? Starting in 2016, none of the MacBooks, MacBook Air, MacBook Pro have this kind of port anymore. They only have the smaller end of this cable, which is USB-C. Now you see the difference here. How close can I get with this? Oh, not too close. One is much smaller than the other. This is small enough that it fits into phones. The iPhone does not have this. Android phones have this. iPads, the iPad Pro, starting in 2018, that's the higher end iPad Pro, expensive one, it has USB-C, whereas all the rest of the iPhones and iPads have a lightning cable, right? So, and the two do not, one does not work with the other. You can't plug a lightning cable into a USB-C hole. Even though they're similar in size, they're not. Right? So don't try to do that, don't force it. But why am I telling you this? The newer computers since 2016, this is it. And you get on the expensive, on the high-end MacBook Pros, the high-end 13-inch and the 16-inch, or even 15-inch from the 2016 forward, you get 4 of these. On the MacBook Air and the lower-end MacBook Pro, you get 2 of these. Okay, well, 2 ain't so bad. Well, kind of. They're both, people find them annoying because they're both on the same side. So you can only plug in on one side and put your cables on one side. What do you mean plug it in? Where's the power connector? This is also the power connector. You plug that in, and the thing about USB-C that they did all of this is because it's versatile. You can use it to charge and power the device as well as transmit data for backups and whatever else you're going to do. Oh, great. So I'm all set. So now when I get my iPhone, I can just plug it in. No, the iPhone does not use USB-C. The iPhone uses Lightning. So you have to get an adapter to plug your iPhone in to your Mac if it's one of the later ones. Unless you have an iMac. The iMac, up until this new one that just came out, the iMac had 4 of these, the big one, and they have 2 of these. Unless you had an older iMac like I did from 2015, I know it's confusing, right? And people like Florence, other people had the older iMacs from before 2017. They had they don't have these. They only have these. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? All these cables, it's confusing, it's a nightmare. No, don't worry about it, right? The only concern is how do I plug in the power in and how do I plug it into charge up, like back up my computer with backup to a hard drive. If you have one of the modern ones with the only USB-C only, then what you need is one of these little joints. It's a little adapter here. This is a USB-A. This is called USB-A, by the way. The big one. The big one is called USB-A. Yeah, USB-A, USB-C. Wait a minute, Victor. You said A and C. What happened to B? B is a special USB connector that's only used for like printers and scanners. It's this funny, odd shaped thing. So you have to worry about that. Okay. So back to this. This you can get. These are very inexpensive. And one side is the big one, and the other side is the small one, the USB-C. It plugs right into your computer. And you don't have to worry about that. Okay. Now, they're very, very, very inexpensive. I'll give you an example. Right, I'll go here to Amazon. I'm gonna switch over to the screen. Let's be A to USB-C. Okay, let me switch over now. Share screen. Here's the Amazon page. This is a USB-A to USB-C. Now you can get a cable that does it. Ugreen, I don't know what Ugreen is. Oh man, Ugreen. Right. And then we have these. This is the, oh wait, this is different. This is a new thing. I've never seen this before. I was wishing they would make one of these. This is the female USB-C to the male USB-A. So that means you could plug in one of these small cables into the back of this and plug the big end into your older computer. Now I didn't think they would even make that because I figured that wasn't an issue. Why would you need that? Like, because most people that have stuff, they have an older computer, they have older hard drives that have the big end. So this is what's more common. This is plugging in your hard drive. Only recently did they start making the hard drives, external hard drives with the USB-C. So you can plug your traditional cable into this little plug here, and it goes right into your Mac, your modern Mac. This is $8.99 for 2. I think this brand, I haven't used this brand. It sounds familiar, but I've used Anker, which is a very good brand, excellent brand, and Aukey, A-U-K-E-Y. That's what I have. In fact, let me put it here. Okay, and here's Anker. All right, whatever. Which one do I have? This is Aukey, but Aukey, Anker, same old thing. Here's Anker. Anker makes a lot of excellent products, accessory products. They make cables, they make power ports to plug in. They come packaged very nice. It's like an Apple product. And they stand by their product warranty, reliability. So these are 2 for $10.99. The price has gone up. These used to be like 2 for $8, or 2 for $6, but no, it's fine. Here's 2. So that's what you need to plug that in. Or you can get a cable that does that too. There's the cable that you can go start at one end and plug in the other. The iPhones, this 2000, 20 iPhones that came out, the 12s, they did not come with a plug, an adapter. They only came with a cable. And the cable was this. It had the USB, it had the lightning at one end, and it had this at the other end. They were talking about for the environment, less packaging and less weight shipping and all this nonsense. It's less money. It's less money they have to give, less product they have to give you. And meanwhile, you're paying the same money. I guess they're trying to offset the cost of adding 5G to the phone and whatever. It's kind of tacky. They also didn't include any headphones either. But that's something new for a lot of Android phones haven't included headphones for years, unless you buy like the top end model. But Apple's a top end model. So anyway, another option is this one of these things here. This is an adapter, because you may have to plug other things into the Mac besides just a hard drive. Maybe you want to plug in, you have a memory card from your camera, not your phone camera, but your camera. Slide that card into here, into that slot, and then you have the micro SD as well. Plug that in, and if you want to plug in like your TV, connect to your TV, HDMI port right there. Plug it into the TV or your VCR or whatever, DVD. So now you have everything. Now, the rumor is that the MacBooks, at least the Pros that are coming out sometime this year, they think, are, in fact, this is definite because the schematics were leaked. They're going to put this back in the MacBook. They're going to put the HDMI port back in. They're going to put the SD card slot back in. It's only going to be, and they're going to put a MagSafe power port. Some of you have your laptop still have the MagSafe. That's that cable, the cord, special funny little cord, like on an iron. If you trip over it, it pulls right out. It doesn't pull the laptop onto the floor. They got rid of that in 2016 when they put this USB-C junk. So now your laptop was in danger again. People were very unhappy with that. So now they're putting it back. So it's going to have 3 of these on the high-end models, and the HDMI and the SD card. I don't know what they're going to do on the lower end ones. I don't know what they're going to do for the MacBook Air, but that's not coming out for a few months anyway, so it's not even the issue. But they are going to return them. But if you bought one last year or so, you're like, well, I'm going to buy another one just to get that. I just have to get one of these adapters. But for $30, got you covered. Now, what is this extra one here on the end? A little blue one there. That is, why does it say PD? It looks like another USB-C port. Because remember, when you plug this into the USB-C port on your computer, now you've taken up one of the ports. Now you have one less if you only have 2, or 3 left if you only have 4. So then this little blue one, this replaces one of the holes on your computer. You plug your power into that, or whatever you want to plug into that, or your external drive, whatever, plug it into that. And then you're good to go. I don't know, power probably isn't a good idea. Plug the power directly into the computer and use this one for like external drives or whatever. Now, if you have an older MacBook Pro, you don't have to worry about any of that. Or MacBook, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff because some of you have like a 2013, 2014, 15. You got the ports. You have a couple of these regular USB ports. Oh, look, wait a minute. I wouldn't get this one. Don't get this one. It doesn't have the regular USB port on it. It has the HDMI. This is not going to help you. Oh, no. Not that one. I was wondering why it was so cheap. I said, boy, here we go. Now you're talking. Now we have them $45 or $42, and this gives you, look what you get here. You get your 2 USB ports, regular port, USB-C, and you get 2 different things. You also get a HDMI port. Why do you need 2 different pieces? That's kind of confusing. This is what I was using in the classroom to plug my Mac into the screen. So let's see here. all right, I don't know why they have to give you all these different, why does it have to be separate? I don't understand, but other brands do make it all together. Now I don't know all these, some of these brands, I don't know. Here's another Anchor. This has, now this is assuming you have the 2 ports on the side of your MacBook, like with the modern ones, the MacBook Air or whatever, Pro. You fill both ports with this. Power is here. So you can put power. HDMI is here. You do it better, even bigger, okay? Power, the two ports that go on the side of your computer. Power is this one. HDMI is that one. 2 regular USB ports, another USB-C, and an SD card slot. It gives you everything, everything. So this, you know, I might have to get one of those. It's better than this Belkin one I have. Belkin's not bad, but it doesn't support all of that stuff. It has the USB-C. It has a. It's not bad, but mine was on sale half price over at the Black Friday, and I think they overcharged for what it is. I think it'd be like 54 is only like 70, 80 bucks. Whereas that one was really good. It's only, the price has come down. Only 60 bucks. Only 60 bucks? What you mean only? Well, I mean only compared to the other ones. Okay. All right, so that's the solution for connecting stuff. It should be simple. Now, why are these companies doing this? Why is Apple, and why did Apple have to bring all this stuff back? Can I get out of the share, please? Okay. All right. There was an idea that all those different ports add cost and confusion. So the idea was, we'll put one kind of port in, and then the manufacturers are going to be updating all their stuff, all their drives and everything with USB-C, because that is the future. And so it'll be painful for a minute. People have to buy new stuff, but it'll be okay eventually. Well, there are some hard drives coming out with that stuff in, but most of them still have the traditional ports. So you still have to get an adapter. That's kind of annoying. And plug in with those things I showed you. Those are called dongles. Like, wait a minute, my laptop used to have what it needed. Now I got to add this stupid dongle to carry along with it. And if I go somewhere and I forget the dongle, then I can't do anything. I'm screwed. People complain loudly and longly. Okay, so now what they're doing, they're putting those ports back, because the Windows computers didn't take all those ports away. I said maybe the small, thin Ultrabooks they did, but the regular size computers, they kept those ports in there. You know, they were trying to force you to do this. I know sometimes Apple does push to the future, and sometimes they're right, as in way back in early 90s when they was the mid 90s. Anyway, it was when they got rid of the floppy drive. Might have been the 80s. They got rid of the floppy drive. And people were like, oh my God, what are you doing? I need my floppy. Because they put a CD in. And nobody wanted to, I gotta do a CD. I got all these floppies, man. What was this CD thing? Well, they were right, because floppies were the old way and they were slow, and too many of them, they could easily break. CD was much more modern, fast, simple, more safer, unless you scratched it. So they were right about that. Then they got rid of the parallel port. Anybody had an old computer worked in the office? Remember that parallel port? Let me go in here and show you a picture of that. Everybody remembers that thing. Yes. Oh my God. Let's take a look at this. Yeah. Computers had this. I had a client. She had this Dell printer for like 10 years. She did not want to give it up, but she wanted to connect a modern Mac to it. I mean, back at the time, this was a few years ago. No, go away. And her printer had this. And it was real struck. I had to find and research and find the special cable that would connect this on the other end to a USB, regular USB on the other end, because printers, all the printers were becoming, they were using USB to plug in a printer. Nobody uses this stuff, especially on a modern laptop. Those were like gone, the horse and buggy. But that was good they changed that. This is the USB plug is much simpler. There's no metallic thing here, much simpler than that big gigantic horse there. So they were right to get rid of those. They did it before people were ready, but people don't get ready until you push them. Right? So then they got rid of, and this is really controversial, the Ethernet port on the computer. What? Remember those? These are on your router and your modem. Computers used to have these in. They took it out the Mac, I think it was back in 2006 it was, or before. They took out the Ethernet port. People were like, how am I gonna get online? Well, Wi-Fi was there, it was there. It wasn't super everywhere the way it is now, but it was moving in that direction. So you had Wi-Fi, and it had to be plugged in with your laptop to a cable. And people were upset about that. So Apple sold this little adapter you could plug into USB, and it had an Ethernet on the other end of it. Those that still was running for Wi-Fi. And you're right about that. Now everything is Wi-Fi. Now can you still plug in your modern Mac? Can you still plug in your Mac to a Ethernet? Because guess what? It's faster over the Ethernet, and there's no chance anybody hacking into your Wi-Fi, to your cable. They could do it with Wi-Fi. You don't need a password for your internet when you plug in a cable, because it's not, nobody else can get to it except you. So, and you can still get adapters. Let's go here, Ethernet. Okay, there they are. Apple used to make one, I don't think they make it anymore. Oh, really? You stink. Let's go there. All right, that's what it looks like. So you have the Ethernet connector from your Wi-Fi, from your router, your cable router, and it's simple right here. That's how it looks. You plug that into here, and this part goes into your computer, and you have wired internet. Now, usually no one uses wired internet unless they have a desktop computer, and people have Wi-Fi on their desktop computers, but you don't need to. But it saves you from having to have a cable draped across your floor, your living room, or wherever your bedroom, wherever your thing is. It's a long cable. But if you have your computer situated, your desktop computer, or even your laptop, just situated where it's in a desk, and behind the desk or underneath the desk is the router, there's no big deal to have the cable because it's hid behind everything. It's only when you want to move. So it's really good for desktops, but for laptops, you can drag a little cable around. You want to have Wi-Fi. So you can have both. If I wanted to, I could plug in a cable to my router, which is way over there, and have it plugged behind my desk and into the computer. And my wife does not want to see any more cables. So I'm not doing that, okay? All right, so that's that. Now, but what if you have one of the modern Macs that only have the USB-C ports? Like some of you may have, or Vilma has, I see Diana's here. Yeah, she has one, she just bought one. So it's gonna be Ethernet to USB-C. And there you are. Same thing. It just plugs in. This is my favorite brand, Anchor. The cable from your cable box, your router, plugs into here, and this plugs into the Mac. And now you have wired internet. if you so choose to have so, but it is possible to do so. There are still some hotels if you travel to, I haven't seen any recently, but there are some, they have a Ethernet cable sticking out of the desk in the hotel room. So you can just plug in, if you have an adapter, you can plug the cable right into your computer, your laptop in the hotel room. That way, those of you that carry your laptop, that way you're not worried about the shared Wi-Fi in the hotel. Because they can, oh, we got free Wi-Fi. And they give you this code to get into it. Well, that code is just like usually like the same code they give everybody else in the hotel. Or, oh, put your last name and your room number as a password. Yeah, well, or whatever, you know, they can find that stuff out. Actually, your last name and room number is the network, and the password is, you know, it's easy to do that. So that's why we had that class on VPNs, using a VPN. You have to be wireless. The safest way of all is if the hotel has it, plug this in. You don't worry about nobody hacking into nothing. Nobody can see what you're doing. Okay. All right, so only the company that provides the internet service can see what you're doing, which is always the case. So that's what you do with that. And I used to have one from my older MacBook years ago, and I don't have one anymore. I don't really carry my laptop. I carry my iPad when I go to places like that. But this is for the laptops. And that is the cables. Now, again, what are you plugging into? You're plugging in Ethernet. You're plugging in drives. You plug in a CD drive. Yes, I plug in the external CD drive because the laptops don't come with them anymore. And they're CD and DVD. And here's something on sale for $22. I don't know what brand this is. You don't have a brand. Okay, here's a brand called Am I Cool? No, I'm not buying that one. Am I Cool? I just took your money. Here's a Dell. Dell, Samsung, you know, any of the brands you've heard of, decent. Of course, Dell charges more money because it's Dell for that very reason. But you don't have to use that. Here's a $33. Well, even $33 is not bad. Okay, Undi, no, I'm not buying yours. Apiker, I mean, it really, you know what? Here's the thing, though. To be honest, this is just basic, simple technology. It's just a daggone CD, DVD drive. There's no special thing that some other brand can put on it to make it. Oh, well, ours is a high class one. They all do the same exact doggone thing. You know, this one gives you a little bag with cushion to carry it in. Roofle. You know, I just like knowing that a company that I can find somewhere. I can, hey, call them up, say, hey, this ain't working. You know, that's some company. Some little. Cause guess what? There's a factory in China that makes all these things. They make them all, and they send to these companies, and the companies, all they do is put their different labels on them. It's the same exact device. So, but there you are. And they use the USB. And you're gonna need the, of course, the adapter if you're using one of the new laptops. I wonder now, external CD drive, if any of them have a USB-C. No, they don't. Well, this one has both. Okay, you're gonna open up, you're gonna do anything, you're gonna just sit there. That link is broken, okay? This has both. If you have one or the other, you can use one or the other, okay? Now, I used to tell people that for critical hard drives and for CD drives, you may not want to buy the one with USB-C because hardly anybody has it. If you go to somewhere else, they won't have it unless you have the adapter. And they didn't make an adapter going from C to regular, but now they do, okay? But the hard, here's an example. Here's a Samsung. This is what I have here. I got one of these things like this, okay? No, not this, external. Those are internal, I want the external. Gold. Some of you in the class have got one, Dylan got one of these, external, okay. It's a blue one, I have a blue one, I have a red one, I have this one, okay. What this is it's an external drive. It's very small. I can't show mine because mine's plugged in, but it's about like that. It's very small. It's like about as big as one of those, a larger book of matches, like that. Okay. There, that's how big it is. Okay. This comes with a USB-C cable, but it also comes with a USB. It comes with two cables. You can plug it into the traditional port or the newer port. It comes with both. There you are. Now these are a little more expensive because these are solid state. They're not using spinning a drive, no wheels, nothing inside it. So this is the super fast kind of, it's like in your smartphones and tablets. So there, oh, they showed the picture. There you go, they give you both. Why is this, I hate that it does this. When I point to it, it turns blue. Let's try this. All right, I wish it wouldn't do that. But anyway, there it is. USB-C to USB-C, USB-C-A to USB-C. So you get both kinds when you buy that, all right? So that's how you connect all this stuff. I think we covered everything. Luckily, the Macs still have headphone jacks. You know, they took them out the phones and the iPad Pros. And these are the adapters for that. You don't need that. Okay, now that I did that, I have to show you. So let's turn this off. Okay, all right. This is one, they make them for the USB-C and they make them for Lightning. So my iPad Pro does not have a headphone jack. I want to listen to music on it, I got to plug this part in to the iPad and this part plus the headphones go into here. But wait a minute, don't you have wireless headphones? Yes, I do. I have AirPods, but the high quality sound that I like, audiophile quality, I gotta have these big boys, okay? AirPods ain't gonna do that. So plug them in. And here's another one that's made differently. This one, see the white on it, the little white? You see that? That is made for the iPhone, all the iPhones. These you can use on Android phones as well as your computer as well, the MacBook. Headphone goes. Except that the Mac still has a headphone jack, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay. I still use it because I get a higher quality sound coming through here than through this thing, much higher quality sound. But I'm an audiophile, so. Alrighty, so that's the stuff of connecting. Let me put this, show you one last little thing, then we're gonna go. Bring it up, about the ports. All right, history. I made a mistake and clicked away from that page. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the kinds of ports. There you go. Buttons and ports on the computer.
Every computer has a...
Not all of these will apply, but it's at least to Macs, but you may have a PC, maybe you have a PC in the house too. Some people do. So, or an older Mac. So let me go ahead and show you that. Switch.
set of buttons and ports. Every computer has its own set of buttons and ports. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the most common ones, including what they're for and how to recognize them. Some buttons are universal, like the power button. Depending on the type of computer you have, it may be on the front, on the back behind the screen, or even on the inside when you open the lid. The power socket is where you'll connect the power cord. If you have a laptop, you'll have a charging port instead. Most computers provide more than one USB port, so you can plug in any device you might need. Keyboards, printers, and USB drives are all common examples. Some computers even have USB-C ports, which can be used for many different things, not just plugging in devices. Laptops, for instance, often use the format for the charging port. If you have a desktop, you'll use the monitor port to connect the monitor. There are quite a few types of monitor connections, ranging from HDMI to the USB-C style we just mentioned. If you have a laptop, you can connect a separate monitor as long as you have the right equipment. Just look for the display port and plug in the appropriate cable. The Ethernet port lets you connect to the internet if you're not using Wi-Fi. All you need is an Ethernet cable, which you can then connect to your modem or router. If your computer has an audio jack, you can use it to plug in wired headphones or speakers. You may or may not have a disk drive, depending on how old your computer is and who makes it. The disk drive can be used to insert a CD, a DVD, or a Blu-ray disc. If you have ports that look like this, they're for older peripherals like mice, keyboards, and printers. Newer versions of these devices usually connect via USB or wirelessly. That covers the basics of buttons and ports. Of course, every computer is different, and technology is always changing. To find out what options you have, take a closer look at your computer.
Oh man,
GC
they were about to show the iMac, but they cut it off before I got to it. All right, but you know what they look like. All right, let's go here. All right, folks, so that is a little tour of ports and plugins and what they do and how they work. All righty. I don't see any questions on here. And make sure that I cover it exactly. Printer scanners, webcams, microphones. Okay. Right, webcams. I didn't make correct. Printers and scanners go through the USB port. The webcam has a USB on the end of it. Plug it right into the USB port, and there you go. They sit right on top of the computer if you want one. I know some of you, all the Macs have them built in. You know, if for some reason yours is not working, but they all have the cameras built in. You may want a better quality because all these people have been using these cheap webcams and everybody looks grainy. You've seen the news reports where now we're going to interview so our resident legal expert or whatever, and they're in their home on Zoom and they look like crap because they have a regular computer with a cheap camera in it and they look all grainy compared to the news persons in the studio. It looks all nice and sharp and clear. You can get better cameras. You can buy a webcam. You can, I'm going to have a class where I show you how to use your phone as a webcam. But make a note here, because the phone has a much better quality camera than the computer does. Why? Because they have more room. They can put more room. But in some cases, that's not true. In some cases, they do have more room. They still put a cheap webcam. Now they're scrambling to put better webcams in because everybody's doing work from home. By the time they release all the computers with the good webcams in them, most of the folks ain't gonna be working at home anymore. Well, so they're behind the deal. And for a while, you couldn't get a webcam. Last year, this time, you could not get a webcam because everybody was trying to buy them because it was working from home, teaching from home, learning from home, and the prices went through the roof, 2 or 3 times the normal price. But things have kind of normalized now. Let me see here. There we go. And here we are. Here's, I guess a webcam is a webcam. You want to make sure that it's 1080p. The problem with the ones that look so terrible is that they're not even 1080p. They're like 720, which was okay back in the day, but it's still kind of grainy. So 1080p, which is same as most the average TVs, flat screen TVs. So Logitech is the best brand. They charge a little more because they know they're the best brand, but here's one as low as $69. Okay. And there you go, auto light correction. Oh, wait a minute, that's not, it's 1080p, 30 frames per second. So it's good, clear stereo audio. I have this my screen was a lot better than when I use a laptop because I'm talking to, this is an LG display monitor that has a 1080p webcam built in. It looks much better than when I'm on the laptop, on the MacBook. Now the newest iMacs that just came out, the flat colorful ones, those have a 1080p webcam in them, so they've improved that. I guess the laptops will eventually when they do that, but, and here you go, Logitech. Here's one for $26, but there's no point in buying this. It has the same lousy as a computer. Do not buy 720p, 1080p. Even if you can't afford that Logitech, get an off-brand one. It's got to have 1080p. Okay. You know, I recommend Logitech. Okay, that's all we have for the day, folks. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed it. Glad you were here. And we will be finishing up. This is our last class for the month of June. The summer is off to the races and rolling. And that's what I want to do. And our first class in July is going to be on the 12th. The next Monday is a July 4th holiday being celebrated on the 5th on Monday. So we will not have the Mac class next Monday. Mark your calendar. And we'll be back on the 12th talking about the camera. I spoke ahead of myself. We'll be talking more about the camera, but not just the quality, but also what you can do with it besides do things on Zoom. It does things, a few different cute little apps you can do things with the camera, like QuickTime and Photo Booth and other stuff. We're gonna learn all about those, all right? So be here on B12, be here on the 12th, but the rest of next week there are classes, okay? So the iPhone, iPad, all that stuff is here. And tomorrow we're back with the iPhone and the rest of the week. So those of you that'll be here during the week, I'll see you. If not, if you only come to this class, then I will see you in 2 weeks. If you want to come to the trip on Thursdays, watch the trip, you should come along because we're going to Wave Hill, okay? And for August, I'm not going to say anything. We'll talk about August when the time comes. Okay, all right, everybody, have a great day and take care. Let me stop the share. Be healthy and safe. This is Victor Carr signing off.